Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, you found it. This is your underground source for organic Bible study that's sustainably produced and responsibly handled. This week and all this week, we are looking at Psalm 93. Psalm 93 is another one of those untitled psalms that we find so often here in the, what book are we in? The fourth book of the Psalter, that's right. So many of these are untitled. Last week, Psalm 92, we saw that it was a psalm for the Sabbath. Wasn't of someone or for a certain instrument or to be sung in a certain way. It was just a psalm that was to be used and sung on the Sabbath day. Today we just have an untitled psalm, kind of like Psalm 91. So we're going to enjoy this psalm this week. It's short. It's only 5 verses. I hope you'll go back and just read through the whole psalm. We're going to do one verse a day this week. So today's verse 1 and so forth. I want to, before I get into the psalm, just remind you about some of our social media platforms that we're on, such as Twitter. If you have a Twitter account, look me up. I'm at Reverend David B. Smith on Twitter. And you can find Daily Dose Radio uploaded to Twitter every single day. Just go in there and follow me, and I'll follow you back. And also, I want to tell everybody that we're excited to be a featured podcast on Clamour's Spirituality channel. So if you have Clamour, I encourage you to get Clamour. If you don't, if you do have it, check us out on the Spirituality channel. We're right there, and Daily Dose Radio is uploaded every day, every morning actually, to Clamour. So you can get us there. And also, something I don't talk about a lot, sermon podcasts that we do from Creek Road Baptist Pulpit. They are also uploaded to the Clamour account. So if you have Clamour, you can find both Daily Dose Radio and Creek Road Baptist Pulpit on Clamour. Let me read for you today Psalm 93, verse 1. The Lord reigneth. He is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength. Wherewithal he hath girt himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Now I took the time this week to translate Psalm 93 for myself. And let me just give you my translation of Psalm 93, and let me just read verse 1 for you today. This is my translation. The Lord reigns. Put on majesty. O Lord, put on strength, and so gird yourself. Yea, you firmly established the world so that it would not be moved. So not a whole lot of difference between my translation and the King James translation. The Lord as King is the center of attention here in this psalm. It's what dominates the psalm, and the Lord's eternal nature as being king also is a part of that. And actually, some of the beautiful artistic language that's used in this psalm, there are 3 different Hebrew words that are used to express the eternality of God. And we'll talk about those as we come to them during the week. So the Lord reigns. He's king. He is enthroned. We're going to even talk about his throne tomorrow in verse 2. But he's clothed with majesty. Notice that there's not a description of God because God is a spirit. He doesn't have a body. But what does he put on? He puts on strength. He puts on majesty. He is majestic. And he girds himself with that strength. Notice in verse 1, it says, you firmly established the world so that it would not be moved. The world's endued with the ability to endure. It's not going to be shaken. It's not going to be moved until the Lord himself is done with it. Why is that? Because our God puts on strength. He has the power to create, and he has the power to destroy, and he has created the world so that it is firmly established. That's something that really, I think, in our day and age, we need to keep in mind. Let's not get too far off the path here on the ecology bandwagon and think that the world is just falling to pieces, then it's going to be destroyed, and man is going to be the one that does it. No, friend. The Lord has firmly established the world. It cannot be shaken because he's the one that made it. He reigns. So if he's in charge, if he's the king over all creation, and if he's girt himself with strength, he has firmly established the world so that it cannot be moved because it is dependent upon the one that made it. Okay, I hope you'll join me tomorrow as we look at verse 2 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.